Surrounded by monsters, our heroes prepare for the worst. Suddenly, the second group of monsters attack the first. As chaos erupts, Fing Fang Foom orders the second group of monsters to press on. They may have tried to conquer these pathetic humans before, but today, they fight in defense of Earth. Bewildered, Captain America contacts Maria Hill, explaining the situation on the ground. Maria wants to call it an airstrike, but Sam Wilson tells her not to act. They've got civilians on the ground, and he can't believe he's saying this, but the monsters have this handled. Let them fight. In no time at all, the second group of monsters defeat the first and stand victorious, and Fing Fang Foom tells the heroes they can lower their weapons. They are not here to fight the humans. Sam thanks the creatures for helping them, but the great dragon tersely replies they didn't do it for them, before the monsters disappear. Finally, our heroes have earned a moment of reprieve. The Earthfalls have ended, for now, and Elsa Bloodstone appears and explains she thinks she knows where the monsters are coming from. She tells them about Kay Quaid, and the boy is brought to Parker Industries for observation. Elsa explains that Kay isn't exactly able to control the monsters, but does seem to be able to summon them. But Kay isn't the threat here. In fact, he might be their only hope. Spider-Man then arrives with Kay's parents. Evidently, Elsa kidnapped this child, and his parents were quite worried. Star-Lord reassures them that their child is fine. In fact, they've got him talking to two of their best men right now.
I am Groot.
Rocket states the kid better start talking or they're going to start pulling limbs off, but Kay knows that's not what Groot really said. Groot was telling Kay about how he's from Planet X and used to be a king there, and that he knows Kay isn't causing the monster attacks. Rocket is alarmed at this, baffled that the boy can understand his friend. Kay explains that he kind of knows him. He can speak to the monsters he's drawn, and he saw Groot on TV, so he drew a partial sketch of him. If he had finished the drawing, he would have been able to summon Groot right to him much earlier. Kay's parents enter the room with the heroes, who note this must be how Kay can use the monsters. They want a demonstration, so Spider-Man suggests that Kay draw Moomba, but the boy says that guy hates it when he draws him. Instead, he decides to draw a different monster, one he's never actually drawn before. With that, Devil Dinosaur is summoned to the Parker Tower, with Moon Girl in tow. This brief moment of alarm quickly passes, and the partners introduce themselves to the group. The heroes ask how Kay's powers work, and if he could, say, use it on Captain America. The boy replies he just doesn't know. Superheroes are kind of hard to draw, and monsters are his favorite. Elsa asks what would happen if he drew a monster dead, and Kay flatly refuses to entertain the thought. That could mean killing them, and he would never do such a thing. Seeing what the heroes are trying to do, Kay says he really doesn't know the limits of his own powers. He can't help them in that department. So Spider-Man moves on to the next line of questioning. How did he get this way? Kay's parents explain how their son is an inhuman. The Terrigen Mists unleashed his powers, but the family kept that hidden from the world. It took them a couple times to figure it out, but they realized no matter where they went or what they did, monsters would eventually attack whatever city they were living in. Not knowing what to do or who to turn to, they kept moving. But something has changed, and Medusa believes she knows what this is. The Inhuman Queen takes them to Karnak, who knows of an ancient legend of universal inhumans from faraway planets. They thrived until giant beasts fell from the sky. These monsters burned the surface, paving the way for the arrival of their queen, the Leviathan Mother. Only one warrior could stand up to these beasts, and she was able to summon monsters of her own to defend this planet. A great war ensued, and Spider-Man thinks that this is perfect. This is how they can beat the Leviathan Mother. However, our hero is jumping to conclusions. Karnak never said this warrior won. So there they have it. Earth stands to fall to the same fate as this planet. and where a great warrior once stood, they have a kid only 11 years old. This worries Kay's parents, but Captain America promises whatever happens, they will protect this young man. Far, far away, the Queen calls out to her subjects. The new nest still isn't ready. There have been complications. The nest is protected, and the Leviathan tide is being held back. Just like before, a summoner has emerged. The Queen is not worried though. No Inhuman shall deny the spawning. She orders her assassins to go, find and kill the summoner, and as for the nest, her children can handle it. She orders her subjects to be sent to Earth. All of them. Hello and welcome to Comic Island. My name is Arden, and this is my recap and review of Monsters Unleashed number 3. Well, that was totally wicked! I love this story and the angle it takes overall. They used the whole let them fight trope as a solid opener for this issue, and I really like the time spent with Kay Kuwait. Also, there's a very cool little detail in this comic. We got hints of it last issue, and maybe issue 1 even, but here it really clarified for me. With Tony Stark out of the picture, Spider-Man's kind of taken his place in the superhero community. I don't mean that in a, cynical, taking his role, I just mean he provides the tech and the headquarters for the Avengers to plan their next moves in this issue, and I really like the idea. It's been years since Spider-Man ever had a truly active role on the Avengers, so this would be a really cool thing for him to do here and in the future. In spite of all the grief Marvel has gotten lately, and I'm certainly the source of some of that, stuff like this, and the series in general, really sells me on the changes going on in Marvel, because I'd actually be interested in seeing Spider-Man with this new role in the superhero community, and the Avengers doing more stuff like they do in this issue. Monsters Unleashed is a solid superhero crossover that has all the fun of any Silver Age story of a similar nature. It's not deep, but it's not supposed to be deep. What it is, and what it is supposed to be, is fun. Some of these tie-ins have been pretty cool too, by the way. I haven't had a chance to review any, but what I've seen has been solid. And the way that Marvel is publishing them as a sort of side thing with the .mu numbering, it works well for the event and doesn't mess with the ongoing series at all. The only annoying part about all of this is that, yes, of course, this story has to be all about the Inhumans, because Marvel? Yeah, there's no defending it, I'm afraid. It feels just so tacky at this point, as if Marvel can't help themselves but just have every stupid little thing be about the Inhumans. God forbid they ever write a new mutant character again, but they could have even just made him magic to be slightly more original. Instead, just like Civil War II, it turns out this entire story revolves around this new Inhuman. At least this time around, Kay has shown more interesting colors, certainly more than Ulysses ever really managed. Kay's funny, he kind of has this working relationship with most of the monsters from what we've seen, including Moomba, but also Groot. I really like him so far. So in spite of that disappointing little hiccup with the Inhumans, I really like Monsters Unleashed number 3 and would recommend it. It's easy to overlook that one problem, and everything else is just so good. The sad thing is that I hear through the grapevine of retailers and online distributors that this event isn't selling as much as they and Marvel were hoping for. It's pretty obvious why that is, given the sheer amount of events Marvel has been pumping out, lately and in general. I realized this week we had Clone Conspiracy, Inhumans vs. X-Men, and this all running at pretty much the same time. And that's ridiculous. Sadly, this series, the one clearly the least important to the ongoing canon, is going to be overlooked by a lot of people for this reason, and it's not a terrible reason. And while I'm not going to lose any sleep over it, it's not my comic, it does kind of suck. Here we have an event that does so much right that a lot of people would like it and are going to miss out on it. And sadly, there's not much we can do about that other than spread the good word and hope for the best. So let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. Thanks for watching this video. If you like and want to support our channel, check out our Patreon page. And finally, don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep reading comics.